Good morning. Welcome all of my Unity family. Today is Sunday, August 16th. My pows and my wows for this past week. Well, my wow was that my husband and I just celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary and we got to spend some time together. And my other wow was that my daughter Autumn came home and visited with me for the entire day. So that was fun. And my pows for this week, I have about 3 of them. The first one is for myself. I was longboarding. I know, I don't look like a longboarder. And I wiped out and kind of hurt my rotator cuff. It is healing, so that's the good thing. But if we could just send some more healing energy, that would be awesome. My other POW is for teachers and for the parents and for the students that are all contemplating whether we go back to school, how do we stay safe, and the whole mask issue. So just prayers to all these people and hopes that things will work themselves out, that they'll transition to wearing masks, that the vaccine for COVID will be found. That's another prayer, the last one. And let's see, from there, I wanted to share our affirmation. It's very similar to last week's. It says, I am quiet enough to hear God speaking to me. And as I read our meditation today, I got this offline, which, just to let you know, you can always look for free meditations. You just Google meditations for children. This one I enjoy. Even adults can use this. And as I read it, I'm going to hold up this pretty picture close to you because it's called Color Your World. And I thought this was pretty. So let's see, can you see that? The world is full of different colors, and you can practice mindfulness by paying attention to which ones you are seeing in the present moment. Seeing is a different experience from tuning into the breath or body, but it offers the same opportunity to be deeply present. We rely heavily on our sense of sight, making it a powerful tool for the cultivation of mindfulness. You can do this practice anywhere. You may be sitting at your desk, taking a ride on the bus, or walking down the street. Wherever you decide to do this practice, set aside 10 minutes to dedicate yourself to it. Arrive in the present moment. Take a few mindful breaths, feel the body where it is, and allow your energy to settle. Pick one color to focus on. You may try starting with red one day and work your way through the traditional rainbow spectrum on each subsequent day. Find one thing you can see that is the color you have picked. Look at it with a beginner's mind, as if you've never seen this thing before. Note what it is and its size and its shape. After a few moments, look for something else that is this color. Observe this object in the same way. Continuing with this practice, notice when your mind wanders off. You can always return to the sensation of breathing, using the breath as the anchor for your awareness. You may find it helpful to mentally note exactly what you are seeing. For example, a red stop sign doesn't get labeled red stop sign. It becomes red, octagon, writing, metal. When 10 minutes have passed, allow your eyes to close for a moment. Take a few deep breaths, let go of the practice, and return to your daily life. Now, I thought that was kind of a neat one because there are colors everywhere around us. And, you know, we can do it anywhere. Like it says, you could do it inside your house, you could do it outside in nature, or whatnot. I have to get looking here. Now, our story today is actually shorter than our meditation. It comes from this book. It's called One Hand Clapping, and it says Zen Stories for All Ages. Now, Zen just means meditation. And if you hear the word, what was the other word? Zazen. Zazen is just the same thing. It means meditation. Now this one is called Learning to be Silent. I'll turn and get this here. There once were 4 young men who practiced Zen together. One day, they decided to spend 7 days of Zazen meditation in complete silence. Everything started off well, but when evening came at the end of the first day, the oil lamps became dimmer and dimmer. One of them couldn't help saying, "We should fix those lamps." Another, surprised to hear the first one speak, said, "Shh, we're not supposed to say a word." "You two really goofed. Why did you talk?" asked a third. "Well, looks like I'm the one who hasn't broken down and said anything," announced the fourth. They looked at one another and began to laugh. All had been equally foolish. They decided they'd have to try again, but this time they would remain really alert. And I'll show you those. There they are meditating, and there they are when they spoke. So we have some questions to go along with this. All right, let's see. Our new book that we're using, our curriculum book, is that one. So the first question it asks, the wind blew my page. The first question that it asks, what goal did the 4 young men have? Well, their goal was to remain silent for 7 days. What was the first thing that distracted the men? Now, do you remember that? It got nighttime and the candles began to dim. They didn't have as much oil in them. That was the distraction. Now, here's a great question. How do you think that the first man felt as soon as he spoke? The very first one. After he spoke, what do you think he was feeling? If it were me, I would probably feel a little defeated, like, oh crud, I wasn't supposed to speak, and maybe even a little silly. That's how I probably would feel. Now, how did they all fall short of their goal? Well, they all talked, each of them in turn. So none of them made it, not just the first one. Now it says here, how might the ending of the story have been different if they just observed their thoughts instead of speaking them aloud? Well, they could have very possibly made it the 7 days without speaking. Sometimes it's best just to hold a thought in your mind and not let it come out. What happens inside your brain when you try to be silent? I know when I try to be silent, it seems like every thought I have comes racing into my head, and I want so bad to say it, but you have to really be in control to watch the things that you say. Yet sometimes thoughts just need to be kept right inside your brain. And now it says, how do you talk to yourself after you failed to accomplish a goal? Well, earlier I said I probably would have felt defeated and silly, but I wouldn't say those things. I wouldn't say, you're a silly person, or, you failed. No, what I would say to myself, because I've been brought up on the unity principles, basically I would give myself a little pep talk and say, hey, you may have messed up, but you get to do this again. You have another chance, you can do this. You've got the wherewithal, you get the perseverance, you can do it. So, a little pep talk always helps. Now let's see. And that's a very good question. This says, what power do your words have? Well, they are powerful. In Unity, they say that every thought is a prayer. So when you speak, it's like reinforcing your thoughts. So if you say, I am healthy, I am strong, you are healthy, you are strong. Versus, I hurt, and I don't feel good. You gotta change it around, because power is in the words. Let me see. Yeah, that was all of our questions. Now, today our craft wants us to focus on that quiet spot in your brain. And I need you to use your imagination for this. Take that deep breath in. Breathe in through your heart. You're imagining that. And exhale from your heart. Try to get quiet. Now imagine, what is that place inside that's quiet? What does it look like? I want you to go and take anything that you have that's a craft. Maybe it's markers, maybe it's colored pencils, maybe it's objects from nature. Maybe it's felt pieces. And I want you to create. What does that look like? Now, mine may look completely different from another friend's. It might just be a color. It could be a beautiful location, but it's different. So the craft today is just to look inside of you and see what is quiet and what does it look like, and then create it. So as we bring this to a close, I want you to remember that you're loved, you're special, and you're important to me. Now our affirmation one more time is, I am quiet enough to hear God speaking to me. And if you get quiet and still, you will. Now, let's do that prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. Make it a great week, and I will see you next week. Namaste.